Welcome to CarTube. A few years ago, the French conglomerate decided to spin DS off into a separate brand. A simple alliteration explains why. Premium players pocket the plumpest profits. But up to now, DS has been selling only facelifted versions of the cars that were born as Citroën DS's. The 7 is the first DS that was conceived from the word go to be a DS, meaning to be premium. DS says it's avant-garde. But don't get carried away with the idea it'll spit out a string of originals along the lines of the oddball DS5, or indeed game-changing 1955 Citroën DS. Actually, about the least original thing you could possibly do in early 2018 is launch a compact premium crossover. Jaguar just did with the E-Pace, Volvo with the XC40, all rallied up against the X1, Q3 and GLA. The DS7's basic sheet metal is very normal indeed. A Lexus NX is far kookier. Top Gear has spent hours arguing the toss with DS management about how this drearily conformist direction can possibly square with their claim to be revolutionary. Why not do something as out there as the Citroën C6, or the DS5? They just smile. Everyone says they love the look of those two cars, but no one bought them. People, in their sheep-like millions, buy normal-looking crossovers. Okay, so what in this car does answer to the claim of avant-garde? Inside, the trims and materials and switches are in places a bit bling, in others rather gorgeous. Materials are fine. Leather, metal, high-res widescreens. The whole confection somehow has the air of a self-consciously designed boutique hotel bar. Or maybe bathroom. Minus the porcelain. Some unique tech comes along too. So the top-end 7s get a suspension system that continually adapts the dampers according to the road ahead as seen by a windscreen camera. That's a world first, at least using dampers. Mercedes has an even more elaborate one with active springs too. Each headlamp contains 3 ice cube-like LED blocks that rotate and pivot in a sequential dance when you unlock. The first DS, of course, gave us hydropneumatic suspension and swiveling headlamps, so there's resonance here. Night vision is on the menu, and unavailable on any rival. So's a near-piloted motorway driving system much like Volvo's and Mercedes's. But this one works better in our experience. There's also a 4x4 plug-in version coming in mid-2019, with a big enough battery to give it 30 miles real-world electric range and 300 bhp if petrol and e-power are combined. It's a petrol engine and motor at the front, and motor only at the back. Which, they'll tell you, is a nice segue into the DS-branded Formula E racers. Forget the race car. DS isn't at all about sportiness. It's a comfort thing. That squishy road-reading chassis, the driver aids, the plush cabin, a longer wheelbase than the class norm to get more back seat space. You can pick holes in aspects of the dynamics or a very few of the cabin components, but in both cases they're well hidden unless you go looking, and in both cases the same applies to most rivals. So the DS7 is perfectly well enough executed as a vehicle to barge its way into the mosh pit of rivals. Then its striking, plush cabin and relaxed nature are a relatively distinctive proposition. The issue is, will people feel it's a safe home for their cash? Will their investment depreciate away? Will their friends take it seriously? Has the DS name even got the awareness to find the buyers it needs? So the DS7 has, as a car, done pretty much what it needs to do. Its life depends on the stuff that surrounds it.